What's going on there, everyone? Chase with iDub Hockey, joined today with Brian, who is with Elite Blade Performance Technology to talk about their ES4 sharpener. Now, there's a handful of different sharpeners, no pun intended, with hand sharpeners as well. But when we talk about automation, there's something that sets the ES4 apart. What are a couple of those key features that really make this different from the competition?
Well, I mean, the key thing for any sharpener is to produce consistent results so that the player goes out, feels the same thing every time. So to do that, you really need three things. You need a consistent radius of hollow, the blade edge angles, if you will. You need a consistent edge height, and you need to avoid changing the shape of the blade or deforming it. You need to avoid the dread banana blade, right? So, I mean, there are 1,000 details about the ES4, but really we boil it down, the catechism, we boil down to three key things. First of all, unlike traditional hand sharpening systems, we don't use a soft wheel. You know, when you see you go to a pro shop and they're sharpening your skates by hand and you see that lovely, beautiful spray of sparks, that's not the blade coming apart, that's the wheel coming apart. And every time you make a pass, it slightly changes the shape of the wheel. So we don't use a traditional soft wheel. We use a steel wheel, aeronautic steel, with artificial diamond, CBN crystal coating for our wheels. So the radius, so if we want to change radius, we don't redress the wheel like you do traditionally, we simply change the wheel. Then secondly, to ensure you have perfect edge symmetry, you need to have the radius of hollow centered perfectly down the blade. The way we do that, we have self-centering clamps. So it doesn't matter what size of blade you put in, a 4mm goalie blade, a 3mm player blade, whatever it is, it will always be perfectly centered over the exact apex of the wheel. The clamps produce about 7,000 pounds of pressure inwards, so it helps to straighten the blade. If the blade has been knocked in a game or something, it will help straighten it, because that's also necessary. But the most important thing about the S4, and the aspect that is really revolutionary, is that we use a very sophisticated computer control system to exactly control the speed and the pressure of the blade, and it changes all along the blade. The way we do that, and I'll just run this quickly, you'll notice I start and before it sharpens, it runs the whole length of the blade. So in doing that, it measures to within about 1/10,000th of an inch, the shape of the blade all along. And then the algorithms quickly calculate the speed and the pressure necessary at every point along the blade in order to take off exactly the same amount of steel the whole way along and avoid deforming it.
So I hear a lot about consistency and just consistency throughout the entire process, and a lot with automation. How does this compare to other automated systems we see?
Well, there are other automated systems which in fact, sometimes they even claim proudly, you know, we put constant pressure on the blade. Actually, putting constant pressure is the worst thing you can do. If you put constant pressure, you will remove 4 times as much steel at the heel and toe as you will in the middle of the blade. And that's where you start to create the banana blades, if you will.
Yeah, and that's when you start to lose performance.
Absolutely.
And then in terms of real life, actual use, what are some benefits for that pro shop?
Well, I mean, the ES4 is an extremely efficient machine, and it's a hands-free machine, of course. So yes, if I want to change the wheels, I change the wheels. The people who are familiar with doing that can change wheels in about 20 seconds. So if I'm switching from a 5/8 to a 1/2 inch, for example, I can do that in about 20 seconds. I mount the blades, push the button, then my hands are free. I can go do something else while it runs. Usually 3 to 4 passes are standard. So a full cycle time for 2 blades, 2 skates, is usually about 2 minutes. But in the meantime, I've had 1.5 minutes of that 2 minutes free to do something else, stone the previous pair, handle the cash, whatever it might be.
Perfect. Well, Brian, thank you so much for having us out here and walking us through the ES4.
Thank you.